Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing the next episode in our continuing series examining important ships in the Star Trek franchise. Today, our focus will be on the original series films, which would be films 1 through 6. So, let's go take a quick look at some of the important ships and space stations you might encounter while watching the films of the original series cast. We'll start off with the USS Enterprise, of course, the NCC-1701. Now, this is actually the same ship as was seen in the original series. However, at the end of the 5-year mission, the ship underwent a major refit to its new refit Constitution-class appearance. This refit Constitution-class design was first seen in Star Trek the Motion Picture, and the extensive overhaul was supervised by Captain Will Decker before James T. Kirk took over command again going forward. Next, we can look at the USS Reliant, which first appeared in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. It was the adversary for the Enterprise when it was taken over by genetically engineered Superman who had a vendetta against Kirk named Khan. The Miranda class remained in service throughout the 21st century. However, like the Reliant, the ships often did not have a happy ending. Also appearing in Star Trek II was the Regula 1 science station, which was a location where research was done on the Genesis project. A little fun fact, the model that portrayed the Regula 1 station first appeared in the previous film, Star Trek the Motion Picture, or it was upside down and portraying an orbital office complex. Next, we have another important vessel, the USS Excelsior, which was the first ship of the Excelsior-class. This class would go on to become the backbone of the Federation moving into the late 23rd and most of the 24th century. As you can see in the registry that originally the Excelsior's registry had the NX prefix, which in Starfleet indicates an experimental design, typically the first ship of its class. By the time of the final movie with the original cast, which was Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country, the Excelsior had received the standard NCC prefix and now was captained by Hikaru Sulu. Also appearing for the first time in Star Trek III was the USS Grissom, an Oberth-class starship. The Oberth class was typically used for scientific missions, and throughout its career into the 24th century was known for being primarily composed of explodium. Also showing up in Star Trek III was the massive Earth Spacedock, where the Enterprise returned after suffering damage in the battle with Khan in Star Trek II. The upper interior section of Spacedock was so large that multiple starships could fit inside it at the same time. Unfortunately, the original Enterprise was lost in Star Trek III. However, at the conclusion of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, Kirk and company received a new Enterprise, which was, like its predecessor, a refit Constitution-class starship. This ship began the tradition of each successive Enterprise receiving the same 1701 registry, but with a new letter appended. The Enterprise A was equipped with a number of Galileo-type shuttlecraft. However, emergency landing plan B not recommended. That would be B, as in barricade. And yes, I am serious. Moving away from Starfleet, we see the Klingon battlecruiser Katinga class. This is an updated version of the D-7 battlecruiser from the original series. The Klingon battlecruiser Katinga class saw service into the 24th century. Also among iconic Klingon vessels, we have the Bird of Prey, first seen in Star Trek III. There have been several designations for the ship over the years, but the class of this particular ship is not certain. This was also the first Klingon ship known to be equipped with a cloaking device. Prior to this, that had been the specialty of the Romulans. Also, quick note not to be confused with the Dictator of Kuroga. Finally, we examine the unusual whale probe of an unknown origin. which showed up at Earth in Star Trek IV, transmitting a strange message that was disturbing Earth's climate. However, it was eventually discovered that this message was intended for humpback whales. So it's a good idea to keep those on hand for this kind of situation. That wraps up our main TOS film ships for this episode. Coming up next time, we will wrap up the 23rd century era with the Discovery Ship Primer. I hope everyone has a blessed day.